The Lost Cryptids Conservatory, where we will shatter your reality to bring you closer to the truth.
Alright guys, welcome back to another live show and stuff. Make sure I got the audio and everything working. So hopefully everyone's doing good tonight. Got a good show. Hopefully everything works out okay. It's was storming here in Michigan, kind of rainy and stormy day. So if it's too bad, too choppy and stuff, we'll reschedule or try our best and present it on another day where it's more clear for you guys. So we're just gonna get right into it and get started pretty much. So this is audio from the 168 expedition to Florida, of course, by Kara Arnold and Bigfoot Odyssey and all the other researchers that were there. In this particular recording was set out, I believe, about, I would say midway through the week, like Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday night, and give me a second. And basically, we are a group of us were out there. It might have been Wednesday night, but anyways, a group of us were out there. We were in this location where a former member of the Lost Cryptids got sick and stuff, and so we were leading them out there. And I set this recorder down, and you know, it was out there recording for about 20 hours. So got 20 hours worth of recordings, and So hopefully something's good on it. So I kind of skipped around first, and so we're gonna skip around to about the 48-minute mark because there's a lot of talking and stuff. And actually, right here, I'll show this real quick because that's us making some calls. But basically, there's a lot of talking stuff. We're still around the recorder. And there's this little stuff right here, which I believe is an owl, which is right where I stopped and said, well, we're going to start right there. Me. Okay, it's working. Everything seems to be working. So basically, we're gonna check this unchecked audio. Basically, I went through it once before, skipping around and stuff, but I didn't have this particular software to go through it, so I wasn't using the spectrograph, and stuff like that. So there's some audio here that we're gonna start, but I'll show you guys before. There's some audio right there. We'll skip back a little bit, but I know there's some talking and stuff, and this is us. Actually, I believe this is my call right there. And before that, we're just talking and doing some different stuff because we hiked out there. We were doing stuff. We set the recorder out, and we split off in two different groups, and the other group ended up finding the recorder, and so they were sitting there talking for a couple minutes. So about 48 minutes or so, there's basically us in the area contaminating any good audio that would actually capture. All this is talking right there until we get right about here, and then we start getting some natural wildlife. After, of course, some this is human right here, some human calls, and I'll play those for you guys. And so we're out here having fun and stuff. We're actually investigating this area. Like I said, one of the members got sick, so I led a group, and other former members of the Lost Cryptids led a different group in this area, and we kind of circled around and swept through and met back up and started making calls, trying to get interaction. And we were out there for a little bit during this recording, and a little bit before. I think we'll start right before this. So here we're making some calls and some whoops and some different stuff to get some attraction, because at that point, nothing's going on and nothing's significant. I think a few people have said they heard something. And so we'll start. I'll leave that right there. Just want to go back a little bit more. So we left it out there, and then we got about 19 hours worth of, minus an hour worth of audio that we were out there, and we got 19 hours worth of audio that was out there. So who knows what's actually on it, and checked and stuff. Of course, this has never been released, never been heard publicly and stuff like that. And this would be my copy. So there's a little bit more human, and I believe this might be talking stuff, but we'll start right here. And so this is the reason there's two screens on here is because this is the left side stereo, or left side mic, and the right side mic. So it's shows both. So I can also go like this, so that way we can see one. So it's a little bit different. When I'm doing all this, I can't see any comments and stuff, but I seen that Sandra P. Garris was in the chat in Hive Mind. Nice to see ya. Stuff. I messaged you on your live stream earlier today, because forgot to get your email when you sent it in the private chat. So if you want to make sure this is all working and stuff. If you email me back and stuff like that, we can get in touch. So I just want to let you know I didn't forget about you. Just forgot to get the email. So, but yeah, it was interesting how you're talking about going over that guy seeing aliens and a bunch of different patterns and whatever he wanted to see in rock faces and stuff. He was seeing like aliens and plasma rifles and stuff. And well, how would High Mind pointed out, how would he knew what a plasma rifle looked like and stuff like that? Because there is no official concept and story and outline public view. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I was watching a little bit, but got busy and stuff. The kids, all right. All right. So the Wi-Fi says it's not too good, but we're gonna try it anyway. So I'll need you guys' help to, make sure it's going good or not, and if it's really crappy, of course I'll be able to tell by the end of the show. I'll go over it and we'll try to do it, I guess, on a day that's better. All right. So this is not enhanced or anything. This is all just original how it is. I believe I have it as turned up as I can get it for you guys without enhancing it. So this is people talking right through here, and they're far away from it, and this looks like when you look at this and stuff, it could be like coyotes and stuff. Sometimes coyotes, when they're far enough and they start yipping and stuff. I'll stop right there before this. It kind of looks like this, up and down, little hashtags and marks and stuff. That sounds like and looks like, when you look at it on the spectrogram, different stuff in the background, but usually the squiggly lines like that, and there's only one of them here, but that, a bunch of those and stuff, is like coyotes. And birds have different unique signatures, each bird and stuff, these calls and stuff. And since this is like 19 hours, we should get into that, and it'll be flooded with a bunch of birds and stuff. And so right here is a human call, and we'll listen to that. And obviously, when you're listening to audio and you're getting Bigfoot calls, you want to be able to tell if it's a human call or if it sounds squatchy and stuff. So, you make sure you guys listen to this, and there's, try to tell if it's a human call and stuff. Obviously it is. I know it is. And if there's anything loud, we would obviously see it as loud as that or louder. And if there's something quiet, it'd be a little marks and stuff, but faint. So I'm just going to skip ahead and stuff, because you can see like this little mark dot right above my cursor right there. That's barely something right there. It's barely something right there. You guys, I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but pretty sure that's just a bird in the background that does a quick little it's not like a chirp, but it's like a, I don't know how to describe it. But these headphones really help. Any bass boosting or total surround sound type of filters with all the broad range really help bring this out. Yeah, so that's a bird in the background and stuff, and I can zoom in and enhance it for you guys to make it so you guys actually hear it, but we're gonna move on because it's nothing. And the one thing about birds is they continue usually they're always repeating themselves. They're pretty repetitious. So like they'll continue on, and that's why you see you have these dots right here, right here, right there, right there. It looks like, and I would assume that it's the same bird making the same call, and it's on the same range of the spectrum hertz. So right here would be actually human talking, so what I'm guessing. There's a little tap. That's talking. So right here's a little tap. But that's not nothing significant. You know, that's just a little tap. That could be a bug smacking something close to the recorder. That could be a debris in the tree. It could be the tree itself branching, something hitting itself. It's not loud enough, nor does it sound like the quality we're actually looking for. They can say, hey, you know, that's like a knock, and it sounds definitive. Alright, so here we're going to listen to this, and then we're going to probably skip going forward, because we get caught up on little stuff pretty easy. Very an owl attempt, obviously. I know. So, but basically, you know, you easily can tell. I wanted to just show this because different calls and human calls, especially, I'm gonna categorize this stuff because it definitely looks different compared to animal calls and stuff. And then if we actually get more Sasquatch calls, I want to be able to compare human calls and Sasquatch calls and see if there's a big difference, especially when they're making kind of the same types of calls. So there's a lot going on stuff. So doing a lot of audio work and stuff. So this is birds. You guys can barely hear them in the background. But you can see here in the different ranges and stuff that it actually like echoes. I guess these are echoes, or it's just catching it on all the hertz range. But you see how loud it was, how bright it was, and how it goes up at this line and cuts down, goes down. Now some of the suspected Sasquatch calls we got go like that, and then they shoot back up. So they go down and then back up, actually, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so we're going to zoom out so we can try to unfortunately, yeah, because of how long the audio is, I'm not going to be able to go as fast through it, but that's okay if we can still go pretty fast. So these are just different human calls and stuff. We'll listen to them and then get going. And again, this was pretty much right before we were going to leave and stuff, so this is kind of like a desperate attempt for any kind of responses or anything to happen. I mean, kind of a Hail Mary type of situation. Of course, a shout out to Todd for making those calls and stuff. He had some pretty interesting calls actually of caveman talk that is was really good and tricked some people when he did it kind of unexpectedly and stuff. So it was pretty interesting. So that's someone else in the background making some caveman talk. A little bit talking. Here's that's someone else doing that caveman talk. And a little tap there. Again, it's something small. It could have been a bug. Most likely a bug. Or wind that's causing something to hit it. So basically we're going to have to skim like this. We can zoom up. And I believe these are more humans. That's why I skipped to 48 and stuff, because this is all us and stuff, and we're making a bunch of noises. So, but it's interesting how you can see it on the graph of these different sounds. So here we have this owl. We'll zoom in on that real quick, and then one of the former members starts going in on it, and it's kind of quiet. It's in the background. It's too far, but it's that right there. You can barely see it, but it's at the 500 hertz range, and that would be this owl. And it's a bird owl, actually a barred owl. It's doing the common who are you, who are you, is kind of as a learning thing that they teach kids and stuff, and that's kind of what it sounds like. They also can sound like monkeys and stuff. We played a clip last week and stuff of them sounding like monkeys and all sorts of calls once they, because they're very territorial and stuff. So if they get two of them or a few of them going at each other, they get pretty loud. This software is I just had it. Let me look at it. It's dang, I just it's Audacity. That's what it's called. Yeah. Totally just fried my brain right there. When I made me think it's Audacity actually, and it's a free software that you can download. So it's free for everyone to use. Download it, update it. You can. It takes a little bit to figure out. You can look through a manual and stuff, and it's kind of easy step by step. You can play around and do all the functions and stuff. So it's not really that hard. It's free. It's nothing special. It's just once you learn how to do this stuff and get audio to practice and stuff and start learning and looking at stuff, and I mean that's about it. So we're gonna keep skipping around stuff because this is, of course, just a person playing with the owl. The owl's hooting back and forth because he was all, that's just how they are. They like to make calls and are very territorial, especially the barred owls, and you can actually make calls and they'll respond to you. And then, we get into like, owl mimicking and stuff. And the one time where I heard what I would assume, what I thought, what I guess I speculate and stuff, I mean, it sounded beefy. It didn't sound like that. I mean, it sounded like a 500-pound owl. So we got some stuff right here, which is, I believe, the owl still. That is that barred owl still. It's a different call. It continues on. I know it's a little small right here, right now. We could zoom in a little bit more. I don't like to zoom in anymore because it starts to break down and starts to get all pixelization and not good. But you know, once you have practice and stuff, you can spot stuff pretty easily. You start noticing lines and patterns that are sounds and not background noises and stuff, and just the background pixelization on the graph, but actual stuff. So he's going to keep hooting for a little bit. So we know that this right here, but you have to check this because this is, in the background and stuff. So now, even though most likely this would be the same owl, there could be potential that, and I will go through this again and look at every single thing that there's some other type of animal or something going on right here. But because we're on the show and stuff, I kind of want to skip through the audio as much as we can and not get bogged down. Here's some more stuff, some tapping or something. So we might not pick up, and there's like some little stuff right there. So we might not check out every single little thing, but we'll go through all the audio as much as we can. So there's some snorting or maybe grunting. Maybe that might have been a pig, or it could be a bug and stuff. There's a lot of bugs out there. This is Florida, so we'll do that again. Probably enhance this. So, it's pretty easy. Basic thing you could do, go up there, effects, go to volume, amplify. I usually go either 3, 3.2, 3.5, doesn't matter. Now that's going to be a lot louder for everyone to hear, but what I'll do for you guys, since you guys are, I don't want to blow you guys' eardrums off, we can go over here to the filters, and we're going to go to a high pass filter, which is and it's going to eliminate some of the bottom end noise for us, for you guys, so it won't blow you guys' eardrums as bad with the static and everything like that. Okay, what do I want? I guess we'll go to this. I might have, wait. I did that too low. Well, anyways, see, that's why I don't want to get stuck on every single little noise and stuff, because you can spend hours and hours in doing this and stuff. But I guess I'm just gonna do this real quick for you guys, and then we're gonna move on, because I don't want to get bogged down in any one thing. So we're gonna put it to 800, and what it's gonna do is going to filter some of this noise out, and we can keep doing that by repeating it. And yeah, it's gonna change and stuff, and you can, if you do it too much, you can alter the noise of everything, and so you got to be careful when you try to enhance or amplify or whatever kind of filter you put on it, that you don't change the actual sound of what you're captured and morph it into whatever you're trying to morph it into instead of the actual representation of what it is. I'm sorry, but still blew your eardrums off and stuff. But as you can hear, that there's something obviously there, but since we heard it louder, I believe that is a bird or a bug, not a pig. It's a little too much, so we'll move on and stuff. Keep going, keep rolling. Gotta zoom in a little bit more so we can, because there's some sounds and stuff going on right here that we know is going on. You can see it right here, these little lines. We're gonna keep going because we assume that's still the owl, so we're gonna keep skipping ahead. And all this lines right here and stuff, this is wind noise. Right here, this line right here is a tap noise, small, soft tap. And that is something that hits the recorder, or I believe this is under a dead palm prawn. And this is a plane going by. I'm gonna check the comments because I I had a feeling someone is, and yeah. Yeah, barred owl, not to be confused with the barn owl, which is a smaller variety of owl and more screechy type. Audacity, yes, Audacity, because Audacity does have this spectrograph. It's kind of hidden, and I will show you what is my favorite dinosaur. To the T-Rex, man. Growing up, it was always the T-Rex, man, because it was big and bad, and you know. So when you get onto Audacity and stuff, it is hidden. The spectrograph is not in any of the effects. It's not in any of the top things that you would think to look for. It is actually right here underneath this arrow, and you can look at waveform and spectrograph. Then you have the spectrograph settings and different stuff. So that's where it's at. And I didn't actually know that on here for a little bit too, so it took me some messing around on here. So there, you guys can cut that learning curve, cut it down and stuff. So here you can set the graph and put whatever numbers you want. I know that when you like stretch it out more and stuff, say if I set it up for from 0 to 500 and stuff, it'll stretch it all out, and it's sometimes harder to read the different sounds in the graph, but you can change the colors and different stuff, so it's pretty unique. It's pretty good. It works for me. I'm sure there's better stuff out there if you pay it, but this works good enough for any Bigfoot researcher who wants to get started and wants to do stuff. So so here we got more tapping, more taps, light taps. So this tap's farther away, this tap's right up to the recorder, and I'm assuming that it's bugs. It's Florida, there's a crap ton of bugs. And so it's pretty nice on here. You also can format it to wave, and that's the only one I really do. when for major stuff that you want to be important stuff, because it's better than MP3. But it doesn't. I know that when you record stuff in WMA, it does not read up onto this, so you have to like record it. And I always record in WAV, but I know one of the recorders we used is not set up that way. So that's the only issue that I've had with this, is when I'm trying to upload something on here. If it's not MP3, if it's not WAV, and it's not more common thing, I guess, other than WMA, it's not. It won't take it. So we're gonna keep cruising along, keep cruising along, keep cruising along. Here we got, I believe, some little stuff right here for sure. Still that owl. And he might be hard to hear for you guys. And if you guys can't hear it, I do apologize. But I'm not going to mess around and spend, a couple minutes on every little thing to boost it up for you guys. You're just going to have to trust me. So we're going to keep cruising along. So we got, 19 more hours to go. And so we're not going to keep getting stuck, but we're going to keep checking this. Another tap and maybe a possible noise right there. That was a pretty interesting tap, but a little bit bigger. That owl still. Just want to see if anything's actually walking up to it like a mouse and stuff. Sometimes the mouse footsteps won't really appear on the spectrogram. Sometimes that was a pretty good tap for whatever it was. Not super loud or forceful, but. So I do know that we have recordings of like a mouse and stuff, and when they mess with it, I mean, it just goes. You can definitely tell. But when they walk up to it, sometimes you don't actually see it. You can barely hear it. It kind of looks like like this line right here and stuff. So it's almost like nothing but background noise. But here we have right here, and right here. There's possibly something right here. But it's not loud and stuff, so we're gonna play it real quick and go. Still that owl. So if you guys heard that first one, he did a loud hoot, and then he did 2 little hoots after that you guys might not have heard. So again, people out there hearing, whoops, whoops, don't get confused with hoots from owls. So he's going off and stuff for a while. He's been going off for 30 minutes now, 40 minutes now. Here he is, non-stop, right there. So we'll keep moving on, keep moving on. And so this is just, how it is when you're looking for audio. I would actually just probably zoom in a little bit more, and I would be checking all of this. I might speed through real fast like this, and then I'll check it again, go a lot slower, detailed. Try to find every single thing, and then listen throughs actually, because sometimes you can hear stuff in the very, very background that's actually mixed in with the background noise that is not showing up on spectrogram. So let's check this out. and so yeah, so we have already left the area. Of course, you know, we were out there um, a couple hours before we set the recorder out. We set the recorder out because we were getting ready to leave, and I can't remember who's all with us. I know there's a group of I would say there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I would say 10. That I believe are out there. So here's the owl making some more louder noises. So keep skipping around. And there's that barred owl. So we're gonna keep going, kind of. And you know, it's sometimes it can be kind of boring. It is actually takes a long time to spend a couple hours, even when you go like this. And we are going really fast. Because I would be going, we're going every 5 seconds. And I would be going second by second. And there's more taps right there, those lines. This one's a little bit more significant. Thought I heard something before that, but that is a little bit louder, but nothing. It's not a knock. That's not what I look for when I'm looking for knocks. That doesn't sound like a knock to me. It just sounds like a little tap of something, of nothing, basically. So here we got another tap. And, you know, this could be bugs flying around, hitting the top of it, landing on top of the palm frond. Keep moving. Be something right there. Going. Check the comments and yeah, who cooks for you? This is not new audio. This is just unreleased audio, never before checked, fully checked audio with a spectrogram. Yeah, so this is from the 168 expedition, again from Kerry Arnold's expedition that he set up with Crypto Reality and a bunch of other researchers from around the U.S. that the Lost Cryptids and some of the members participated in. And this would have been spring of 2021. And this was March, the last week of March, down in Florida. And so yeah, it could be anything. And I actually have another one if we have time and stuff. I think we will. If everything's going okay and everything's working on your guys' end. We might be able to. I have another 16 hours or 9 hours or something. Um, Another audio recorder from the 168 and stuff. So this one was left, I believe, was set up by camp and was left out like from the afternoon all the way all night until it ran out of battery, I believe. And I don't have no idea what's on that. And that's the interesting thing. And this is why, people, you know, about the 168 and why, a lot of stuff didn't come out and why, how come, there's, because there's hours and hours. There's 20 hours of worth of audio right here. We're going to spend 2 hours on it, going through it fast and stuff, not fully going slow and trying to listen to every little thing that's on here. Here's that owl still. And then when you stop and then you're spending time to enhance it and mess with it, and then that's costing you more time. And so here's this owl and stuff. So he's got closer, I'm guessing. We'll play it again. He might have got closer. Sounds a little bit louder. You can see it more definitively. We'll skip. So he's been going on for a while now in the same area, calling for a mate, or calling out, I'm guessing, obviously for a mate, or seeing if there's any other territorial rivals in the area. Maybe we got something, or this might just be part of this wind stream. Sometimes you'll see me look away when I'm listening to the audio because I don't like to look at it as it's happening and stuff. I like to listen for what's actually, if something's actually there. I don't want to be, trying to trick my brain because I see something on the graph, and so I expect something to be there. I want to be able to make sure I actually hear it myself. Another tap and stuff. So let's keep trucking along and stuff. So here we got some here we got something right here which looks like more tapping, or it could be animal walking. Or a bird call. So we'll enhance this just a little bit. We can do it pretty fast, I think. Because we'll do this. And we'll move on, see how it cuts. Just one pass cuts out all of that. So that's a bird. That's not... I couldn't tell you the bird. I have no idea all the birds in Florida and stuff, or even all the birds here in Michigan, all the different sounds that they could possibly make. I just hear that, and my brain is telling me that sounds like a bird, and so we're gonna move on. So that is kind of interesting. We're gonna go forward just a little bit, but that definitely was a lot heavier than what we have been hearing. I'm gonna move on. There's another tap here. See if there's any major thing. Then we're gonna go back. And this is the I don't know, it sounds pretty good, but the problem is, we're not seeing actually what actually caused it. There's no audio that it actually makes to determine the actual animal. Like, this could be a bird just laying down on top of the palm frond, because it's underneath a dead palm frond. So something could have just landed on it. It could have been a frog, It could have been something like that, not necessarily like a Bigfoot going, tapping on it or something. Someone wants to get really excited and stuff. Oh, this could be a Bigfoot. This could be a Bigfoot. You know, probably the most simplest explanation probably is it, and it's mostly, bugs, because we keep getting this tapping noise. Most likely bugs and stuff, and then something heavier or faster just impacted the top of the palm frond. It sounds pretty good. This does sound like what we want to get in terms of when you're hearing like tap or knocks and stuff or something. But I think in this situation, the way I have it set up with the palm frond on top of it, it's dead. Anything that's getting smacked on there is gonna sound like this, even if it's a bug or something small. It's gonna echo. It's gonna sound louder because it is dead. If anyone's been to Florida, they're kind of hollow. They're dead. You can tap on them and stuff, and they kind of make this kind of a noise. So, unfortunately, that next time I wouldn't have done that. But the only reason I did is to hide the recorder, and I thought it was easy to place, easy to hide, and plus, it was like the only dead palm frond on the ground. In this type of spot that we were actually in. It was kind of like it was like a little section of woods, and there was an open grassland, and then inside of it there was this like open spot, enough for I think all 10 of us actually got in there and took a break, and at one point, and so I put it out in there because it's the only dead one, and I'd be able to easily spot it, find it, It was the only dead one inside that little spot that we were in. So, unfortunately, you get stuff that hits the top of it, and now it's not the actual right density of the sound. It's not actually presenting of what's actually going on if that wasn't there. So now you have something like that, where it sounds significant, it sounds heavy, it sounds like what we're looking for, but we know that because that thing's on top of it, it's going to echo the sound of a bug landing on it. And unfortunately, it's always going to even if it was good, really good or louder, it's always going to be that what if it's possibly just the bug. So therefore, it's not really good evidence at all. It's not evidence at all. It's not good at anything at all. Smaller little tapping, again. Just a bug and stuff, so. We got another tap. So you got a slight tap right here. Barely audible. Possibly something right there. There is something. Now this one sounds different. This sounds more thuddish, but it's pretty low. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do a low filter pass, which actually does the opposite. And we're going to take out everything from, I guess, 500. We're going to do that again. And now we're going to really mess up all the audio and stuff. And we're going to compress it. And see how loud it just got again. So we're going to blow your guys' eardrums off possibly. So we just be paired. 3, 2. Okay, so that totally messed it up. But anyways, there's just a thud out there. It's not. It sounds different than the bugs. It sounds a little bit heavier, but it's not usable. You know. So another little tap. We're gonna skip it and stuff. It's not. Some little ones right there. So keep going, keep going. And you know, when most of the time we're looking for audio, we're always hoping for the holy grail of really bright, loud audio, but in my experience, most of the audios I've captured, it's going to be the little stuff that's hard to spot that you have to kind of enhance and bring out to work on. Or there's people talking over it, or there's cars going by, or there's something happening. I think there's a little dot right there. So unfortunately, you know, you have to spend the time and look at every small stuff. There's some. Oh, I know what that is. That's all the grasshoppers. There's crickets going off. That's all. That's what this is right here. Yeah, that's what this is. Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, I kind of forgot and just remembered hive mind about yeah, I'm gonna have my own database of spectrograph analysis of the different stuff that we've captured. But I know online you can go to different databases and check out different stuff right now that people have categorized and cataloged. So, and I know. So anyways, but we got some interesting audio and some stuff that we're gonna and pictures of it that we can save and categorize and hopefully compare to other people who are doing the same. I already did with James Lady, who's the part of the who is the founder of the Michigan Aboriginal Project, and he does a lot of audio work, and he recently got some audio. One call. He has multiple recent audio calls, but one particular call sounds exactly like something that we caught. And when I first heard it, I instantly knew, and it's very interesting. So I'm interested to see what more comes of that, more work he's doing with it, and of course I sent him some stuff. But it's interesting to find out if we could, find out if it's a real animal, a known animal, or if it's something unknown. So we can categorize it and putting into our categorization So we know the next time we experience this or hear it, or other researchers have it, we know that, oh, hey, that's this animal that we got. That's a really rare, abnormal call that they only do every once in a blue moon type of stuff. We want to have that. So it's no matter what, if these sounds, even if it's your favorite sound, you believe it's a Sasquatch. If it's proven to be a regular animal, it's good for you to have, and to have in the back of your head that now you won't get tricked by it again. And you should spread the awareness to other people so they don't get misidentified calls from that animal that you know is a regular animal and not Sasquatch. So it's not about trying to prove and hold on to, oh my god, I know this calls a Sasquatch, and no matter what people say, I'm just gonna, it's a Sasquatch call. Instead, it should be more open of, okay, I want to make sure that next time I'm prepared not to get tricked by this or don't fall for this, and or how can I better vet stuff to make sure I don't jump the gun on certain things. So it's never about oh, your evidence is crap. It's you don't know anything. It's always about a learning experience and how to prepare yourself for the next time. That's what I personally do, anyways. So we're gonna keep going on and look at these, whatever these are, and they're way up here on the spectrum. So, which is interesting. That's a bug. That is cool. That is pretty cool because I've never seen this up here at the top. I've been doing it at 10 grand hertz and even 20 grand hertz and stuff, but most of the time that's just loudness and stuff. Kinda loudness and stuff, but most common animals and the sounds and frequencies range that we're going to be looking for are not going to be that high. But if Sasquatch is making some weird sounds that we can't identify here in the low frequency, there possibly might be noises that they make on the other side. And one of the things that James Lady, shout out to him, that he believes is Sasquatch are able to talk and make vocals and audio references that is hidden within, say, the wind spectrum or in the background noise. So, like, if we take this a big section that we think something's going on, and we try to enhance it and try to eliminate some of the different frequency ranges and enhance certain stuff, that they'll actually be in the background noise. You can bring it up and you'll hear them talking, and he calls it and other people have called it like a progressive, like harmonics type of tones, or progressive talking, or basically they're using their vocal cords and bass lower range of hertz language that we possibly can't hear, that's like at 30 hertz or lower, or at the cusp, or different ways that they're using it to fluctuate or be on in the background noise that our brain can't unfilter, basically. But I actually have audio where I think I hear everything on it. I know everything that's on it, but then I've enhanced it more, and there's two whoops in there that, I mean, they sound great, but it's like, why didn't they show up on the spectrogram at first, instead of they were kind of hidden in there, and so it's very interesting and stuff. So it's one of those things that, who knows, it might possibly be something like that going on. So here we got some stuff right there. I think that's maybe bugs. Yeah. Another tap. It's we're gonna keep going. So we're about 2 hours and 14 out of the 20 hours. So 18 more hours to go. And as you guys can tell, it does take a long time, especially when if you actually stop and you look at every single thing. It does take a while. But if you want to be a good researcher, you actually want to do the work, right? You want to do it the right way, then you better sit down and analyze all of it. And do it the right way. And not, I mean, seriously, that's how, I think it's like opening, it's like feeling like a kid again, opening Christmas presents on Christmas because you never know what's on it. You never know what could be here. It's exciting, and so here's that owl again. It does sound interesting though, so we're gonna tag that, mark that actually. I'm gonna split that clip. And so what? We'll mark that. I believe it's the owl. But we're not going to enhance it. We're going to keep moving on because I want to catch more stuff. I want something loud, something, interesting to happen. And I did know from looking at everything before I zoomed in, there were some significant things that was going on, but I think some birds are going off in the morning. There was that one tap that we heard that would have been one of those spikes. So we're just hanging out and stuff, guys. I'll go back in the chat and see if we got more comments. Okay. So kind of just doing the show, but in actuality, I'm doing work because we can show audio and go through it together, but actually I can kill two birds with one stone by doing the show with you guys and actually going through some audio instead of doing a 2 hour show with you guys, 3 hours, 4 hours if we go really late, and then spend another 2, 3, 4 hours on this where I could just do it at the same time. So it's more efficient for me to do that. So but I am going to have to probably go through all this again with a finer comb, because we're skipping some things, some little things. I mean, it's most likely nothing, but you just never know. Because I know on the other audio I have, and some of the sounds that we showed last week, that if I would have skipped some of the stuff, it sounded like they was mixed in with other animals. If I would sound like birds, I would have completely missed those unique sounds. Once we get up into the morning section and stuff, it's all birds. From experience, it's all birds. It's really repetitive and boring, and the least favorite parts to go through, and we might skip that after reviewing some of the bird sounds and stuff for you guys, because it's just non-stop repetitiveness. And that is the most painful part of it, I believe, because it's like it's all birds, man. And even if you got a noise, there's so much bird noises in the background that it's gonna be hard to bring anything out. So there's some more taps. It is consistent. These taps are consistent stuff. You would think that, how many bugs and stuff would be landing at this single time? How many taps should we be getting each and every hour? Because these seems like it's like, I don't know, pretty significant. Every minute we got one or two. But I don't know. I don't think they're nothing but bugs, but it's just interesting how many bugs should be landing on the recorder and stuff, because we do have some taps on other areas and stuff too, so it is bugs that doing it. But it's not as often as this. But I think it's because of the palm frond is creating a wider space for them to land on, and make more surface area to make sounds. Which is lesson learned, because it's just more interference and stuff that makes me want to stop and check, but so here we got something more significant. That one, I mean, that was a louder flick. I mean, it was a pretty loud tap. I mean, that one's pretty significant. You can see how bright it is, how loud it actually got, and that might have actually touched the recorder itself. Keep going. If we got like a lot of those, or something more of a pattern, that consistent pattern of something, you could see it's not randomness, right? But all these taps are just randomness, which is most likely bugs. That one was a little interesting. I'm listening for any subtle movements or sounds that we're not able to see as well. So right before this happens, there's a let's play it again real quick. So right before that tap, it's actually a shift. You can hear the palm frond shift a little bit. So there's a little shift in that tap. So again, maybe it's just how the bug landed on it, skid landed, or some sort. But that is definitely different. Just because of the added shift of the palm frond. It's different than every other tap that we've heard, which is just a single tap. Even that louder tap didn't have a shift. Which, again, it's most likely nothing, but I have heard of another researcher saying that he has these tap noises, which could be bugs, or, you know, he described more of a pattern type tapping next to or the recorder itself. So there's something in the background right there. I have no idea what it is. And it's way in the background. But there's something there. Very, very, very faint. I don't know if you guys definitely didn't hear it. Maybe you guys did. I don't know how good the audio actually works for you guys, but that's something that most likely unusable. Most likely it's unusable by the time I'm able to bring it up and be loud enough to be able to hear by everyone on a device without these headphones. And by then it's, you know, unusable. It's not worth a damn, anyways. So keep moving on. So we seem to have an uptick in these taps. There was another little shift, or you can hear movement in the leaves. I'm going to enhance that for you guys. So, first, go and do this, because that is a little bit different than the normal task we've been hearing. It's probably nothing still, but I guess we'll do this. We'll amplify it a little bit, by a lot actually, but that's okay, because we're going to you know what, let's just go down here. We'll go try vocal reduction and see if that works. Oh, I need to make it stereo. Nope. I'm just gonna keep moving on because that's something that is not super important now. It's not. You know, we're gonna keep listening to that. If we keep getting more stuff, maybe if we get like movement around it, and we keep getting these taps, then we can maybe think of some more possibilities of what's causing that if it's not bugs. So, you know, because if you get a lot of puzzle pieces that add up to something, but Because if there's actually a big animal or anything, we could possibly hear breathing, shuffling around. If it's moving in and out of the area, it should show up, or we should be able to subtly hear about it with the headphones. So we keep moving on. And if you guys have audio and stuff, you guys want to send it my way, you're more than welcome to. We'll put the banner up for you guys real quick. Because I can look at it, I can try to do some little stuff on it. You guys can use that email. It's my not personal email, but more personalized email for stuff, and you guys can send audio that way. If the file's too big, say I think if you try to like send an email and you attach like a video file or any type of file, and it's bigger than like 25 megabytes or 200 megabytes or whatever, it's not going to send through the file. It won't send through Facebook messengers. So the best way would be to upload it to a Google Drive. If you have Google Gmail and all that, you get a free cloud space, up to 15 gigs for free, and you can upload some stuff there, and then get my email, and the files that are in your Google Drive, you right click and you can have the share option, and then you would put my email in there, share it to me, then I'm able to actually download the whole file up to 15 gigs, because that's how much you could hold for free. But if you actually pay for it, you get whatever you want to pay for. So I could download whatever amount of data as long as my computer can handle it that way. And that's the way I have found to be the easiest. It's like Dropbox kind of stuff, things like that. So if you guys have some interesting audio, or you guys need like help with stuff, or I don't know, here's some stuff. I forgot I wanted to do this last time. So even though you guys won't be able to see it, even like this, I don't know if you guys want to see me on screen or not. It doesn't really matter. I know that you guys aren't able to see the smaller stuff that I'm pointing out on here, even if it's like this full screen. You're only going to be able to see the bigger stuff. If I zoom in on some of the stuff a lot, you probably could see it, but here's a more full view for you guys. So we're gonna listen to this because we have some tabs for here. This might be some movement and more significant tabs. So let's try to figure out what's going on. So you guys want to guess what that is? We're gonna see if there's any other clues right here. I mean, I honestly don't know, but it kind of sounded like a bug crawling. or the wind ruffling it, but there's really no wind going on to blow it. But like that right there kind of sounds like something crawling. Even the palm frond thing flexing could sound like that. So we're just gonna keep going on because huh. Those two ones were a little bit different sounding, different tones and density. So we're gonna clip that, work on that later. But it's not loud. It's not nothing super significant. It's making it go wow, but just a little weird sound that I wanna probably categorize and probably have a bug category because there's a lot of bugs, a lot of different bug sounds, tapping, flying, hitting the recorder, stuff like that. And I want to have for my personal reference for everyone else to have. Yeah, I think this is probably bugs and stuff landing on it, around it. So we're going pretty good now. We're actually zooming way too fast. And I'll zoom in. I'll show you guys why. See, now this is where I actually look at. And it might be a little bit... and it looks distorted stuff. Everything looks a little bit more grainy. But you can hear, you can see... you can see softer sounds a little bit better. Stuff that's in the background. And you're able to catch stuff a little bit easier. It takes a lot longer to scroll through though, as you guys can see. Now it's every second instead of every 5 seconds per thing. So I would stop and listen to every little thing. A little bug, I believe. Bug or a little tap. But see, this one's, you can see how this one's different and stuff, because the taps that we're actually getting on the palm frond are these long ones, and this is a short one, which is a little different. And that's why I think it's a bug. And here we have this crawling or rippling effect. Well, that's a bird. It's a bird. So we'll zoom out. And so that is that bird right there. And this is that same bird right there. And this is so as you can see, it's harder to spot things the way we're going through it right now. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna have to go through this. Because if I'm not paying attention and stuff, we're easily able to miss this bird noise right here and right here. And we're kind of just focused on the main big loud stuff right here, which is right here again. So that again, that sounds like something walking, crawling across it. Small animal or lizard. There's a lot of lizards out there, but it's this would be nighttime, so I would assume. I don't know. I know I've seen them during the day a lot, um, but they could be wolf all over the place, which I believe is what's going on now. And all the ones that we heard before were just bugs landing on top of it. While this right here is something actually walking on it, landing, and walking on it. So. So just keep trucking along. But you know, there's a lot of work that goes into being a Bigfoot researcher. If you're actually doing the work, actually doing research, you know, a lot of people's. And this is why you'll hear a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it myself. This is why this is, you know, like 2 years old almost. It's, you know, it's easy to go out, set the recorder out, get audio. It's so easy to go do that, but like, you spend hours and hours and hours on all the audio that you got. That's a pain. That's work. That's what, and you know, finding time to do it, man. I gotta stay up and do it. I gotta get up, find, either stay up late and sacrifice that, or find other times where I can work on this audio, and it usually involves staying up way late. Which is the only way I'm going to be able to look at this stuff. So that's why you hear a lot of researchers saying they have a lot of audio, but they haven't gone through it because of this. Because it does actually take, even if we speed through this, it's still taken us multiple hours to get through 20 hours worth of audio by looking at the spectrogram. We do know that we're possibly guaranteed that we are missing softer stuff that's in the background that we can possibly see if we're zoomed in a bit more, that we know it's there. But most of the time that's going to be nothing. It's going to be just more bugs and little crap. But there could be possibly, right there I see something. As another tap. And we're going to zoom in on it. See where you can see right here. This is the tap that I seen. That's the tap that I didn't see. That's right there. This looks like something else. Another tap. So here's three things that we are missing. I only seen the middle one. That is there. That is basically in the background. It's soft taps. That is literally nothing of importance, but just to show you guys that there's stuff in the background we could be missing. This could be a call that's off in the background that we barely audible but hear, but it is actually there. And if you're able to hear it, even though it's, you know, you would think that it's not really anything, you can try to work on it, bring it out, and use it. But if you just looked on the spectrogram and just went through all the audio on the spectrogram, and you didn't zoom in, and you didn't look at every little detail, you'd miss it. And I know there's some researchers that just go do that because it's so easy. It's a lot easier to do that, you know. But you are going to miss stuff. I hit the wrong button. That's okay. So we'll undo all that. And all right. So we'll keep going on. We're not gonna probably get through all this by the time I decide to shut it down. And I'll go through all this, and if we find anything significant, obviously I'll show it to you guys next time and all that. But like I said, we got we're almost 4 hours in, so we got 16 more hours to go of this, and then there's another 16 hours of audio that I got from 168. Plus, I have another 9 hours and 55 minutes from a Michigan place that we didn't just got, but I just found that I didn't actually realize I had it. Unfortunately, most of it is just there's a radio playing over it. I know most of the stuff that would have got captured is there's just crap all over it, and it makes me mad. But there might be something on there. But there's 9 hours worth of that, so not everything's distorted. But I know that when we had an activity, the audio that would have captured stuff at the camp is totally just stepped on by radio music because a person wasn't listening. You know what happens when you have stuff that's going on, you want people to be able to listen and follow orders so they benefit everyone and capture audio. What's the point of having a parabolic dish at camp if you're just going to play music and there's stuff going on, there's actually stuff going on at camp, and you're just going to play music. You're not going to shut the music off and let the parabolic dish get audio. Nope, you're just going to hey, to each their own, but if you want to be professional, you want to be good at this, you should probably listen to others when you need to, and also try to understand, hey, maybe if I want to get audio evidence, I shouldn't be playing radio to drown out the audio evidence. But we don't have to deal with those former members anymore because all good things come to light. And lesson learned. So we got, and then I have another 9 hours of audio that we got. That was a pretty good tab. And I believe I got another 6 hours of audio that I thought I want to re-go through because I know there is this Bigfoot call on there. It's from the UP that we have, but I went through it before, and I went through once on the spectrogram, but I couldn't find it, and I know it's on there because I set the recorder out, and then I walked back to camp, and then it happened. So so yeah, so there's a lot of audio that we're going through. Plus, there's more 168. I said before, just talking and stuff, people talking, and there's one expedition audio that I have to go through. So it's like 20 hours worth of audio, but most of the time it's just there's talking, or it was left in the bag. It was left on. But it caught some interesting stuff. It actually caught possibly some audio on the first time we actually went out as a group. We went out and split up into two main groups that night. That was the first second night, I believe. So we have that. So there's a lot of audio to go through. And so which is actually interesting because I was working on some of the footage that we have for the 168, and it's now I got all this audio and stuff. So I'm gonna try to incorporate maybe some little bits and pieces of things. So here we have all this tapping stuff, but what we have determined, of course, is this is a bug or a lizard or something crawling on the palm frond on top of the audio. So nothing. So we keep going and stuff. Like I said, it was kind of disappointing sometimes, but this is just reality. 99% of the time, you don't get evidence. You don't have activity when you go out there. But if you don't try at all, it's never gonna happen. So even though most of the time nothing happens, there's always something. There's always one little nugget that, boy, it just reignites my fire and my passion for this tenfold. And sometimes, as researchers, we kind of get our fiery passion for this kind of gets snuffed out a little bit. We get drained and by the people in the community, by I get frustrated, and I know a lot of people get frustrated because you go out there, you're in some areas, and I think we expect too much to happen sometimes, and thinking about Bigfoot and doing this, I do this, think about it a lot and stuff. I kind of feel myself getting burnt out a little bit, and sometimes it's like I kind of take a little break from watching anything or doing anything because I don't want to get burned out completely. And if people get frustrated and stuff, and it happens and stuff. But finding bits and like something significant, or having activity out there, or finding audio, or going through all of this, it reignites that fire, and it helps keeps me going, honestly, because especially after my first encounter, and there was times it's like, even though I'm having little bits and pieces like wood knocks, or maybe I hear audio out there, I'm 17, 18, 20 right now. Back then, I want something significant to happen, and it was like, this is just back then. It was like, man, this is stupid. Why am I out here? There's no Bigfoots out in this particular woods right now. Why am I getting out here? Excuse my language, but my ass is getting chewed up by mosquitoes right now. Like, I'm sweating, bugs everywhere, I'm cold sometimes, I'm hot in the summer, like, and the struggle is real, but then something happens, something awesome happens, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I was thinking like that, because obviously they're out here, obviously it's real, and then, of course, years and years more activity, and now it's like, yeah, man, they're out there. Of course, it's just they're probably watching you out there, laughing at you that you're getting ate up and throwing a hissy fit because you can't find Bigfoot and blah blah blah. So that's kind of why I say you kind of embrace the suckiness out there. You embrace the suck, man. You're gonna get ate up by mosquitoes. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get cold. You're gonna get wet. You're gonna get hot. You're gonna get sweaty, man. You're gonna start chafing. You're gonna start getting some blisters on your feet. You're gonna get cut up. You're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get roughed up. It's gonna happen. Don't make an excuse of why you can't continue on because of that. Because you should know before going in. That's a possibility. You're most likely gonna get ate up by mosquitoes during the summertime. It's gonna be cold, wet, and rainy in the fall and spring. Winter, it's gonna be cold. Oh, oh. Okay. I thought I messed up. Sometimes when you'll highlight everything, and then when you go push play, you'll start at the very beginning. But that didn't happen. Just more tabs. More. Nothing significant. I mean, just more little stuff. But so just gotta be passionate about it, but don't get burned out on it. Don't let other people burn you out. Don't let yourself get burned out because you're discouraged by being out there, and it's not easy. You know, and that's how you can tell if people are really going off trail or if they're not. Is because I look at people and it's like, okay, I kind of see the shape you're in. I see the age you're not going heavy off trail. You might go off a little bit, but then it's like, when these people get ate up and there's like this and that, are they really, how long are they out there, off trail? You're out there for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, you know, because if anyone can go off trail for 20 minutes, and they're not even 100 yards off trail, and then go back to where they're at and say they're off trail, but I wouldn't consider that really off trail too much. You gotta be, should be a couple 100 yards off trail, where you can and stuff. But I don't. I'm not trying to rag on people and stuff, and I'm not trying to say like I'm Billy Badass and stuff. I'm a nobody, man. Like anyone could be doing this, and you can do this at any level and stuff. But I see what I get frustrated at is when people say, "Yeah, I can do this, this, and this. I go off trail. I go in the swamps. I go this, and this." And it's like I don't believe that because I see this, and this. And from my experience, it tells me that you're not really doing what you're saying you're doing, which is a lie because you don't have integrity. So I know a lot of whatever age and health and physicality you have, you can only do what you can do, right? But if you are saying that you can do, every single thing, you want to do this, and this, then do it and prove it. If you're gonna go with me in the woods, then you're gonna have to show it. Because if you tell me that's what you can do, we're gonna go do it. And if you can't go do it, it's gonna get found out pretty fast. So I think there's a problem with that and stuff. And when people go out together in groups, like you know, I mean, it's kind of a catch-22 kind of thing. But like, if all you're gonna do is just go out and camp, like, there's nothing unique about that, you know. You know, if I invite a bunch of Bigfoot researchers and all we do is camp and sit at camp and have a fire and sit around the fire and say, oh, well, we're going to bring them in by sitting here at camp and telling stories and acting like campers, right? And acting like, being calm and letting them come here. It's like, so what are you doing, though? What research are you doing? Because you're not doing anything. You setting up audio recorders and you're just hoping you're hoping to get lucky that something is going to come into camp and do something to you. Is that actually research? Because it seems like, research is more active, right? Like you're actively investigating the noises that you're having at camp. Like you're actively going out there. Like we go actively go off in the woods off trail at dark and try to get activity, and then hopefully try to bring them back to camp that way, right? We don't just sit at camp all night and then making noises. Then hopefully they come into camp and then play the, oh, did you hear that game? What was that game? I have no idea. You guys won't even leave the camp light of the fire to investigate anything. You know, you have no idea what's out there. At least when we are out there and we're off trail and we have activity, and we go back to camp and we hear activity at camp, we know that, hey, a deer didn't just follow us all the way back to camp. You know, normal animals aren't going to follow you back to camp, right? A deer can show up at your camp and be around your camp, right? But a deer's not going to follow you back to your camp, hundreds of yards back to your camp to mess with you. So, there's that. I mean, there's this one remark. I'm not going to call the guy out, but like, it really bugs me a lot because the guy says that, and these people, they fly and drive hundreds of miles to go to be with this group and to go out and kind of do this little mini camp out expedition type of thing, get evidence. And then one guy says that everyone's waiting around. Everyone's at camp, waiting around to go out, right? To go walk somewhere, right? To either go on a trail or go in the woods off trail and go walk somewhere. And the guy says, we wait for dinner, and then he literally says it. It irritates me. He will wait and wait and make everyone wait and wait and wait until everyone passes out and goes to sleep, and then he will go out in the woods by himself. It irks me so much for so many different reasons. It's like, so these people are there, they're there for you to guide them to, do all this stuff for them, and you're making them wait all night until they pass out at camp, and then you go off by yourself, because that's how you do it, and it's, as you laugh about it and stuff, and it's just like, there's some red flags about that, because it's like, why are you waiting for everyone to go to sleep to go out there, and any evidence or interaction you do get, I mean, why don't you want the witnesses to be around you? And the end point that people pay money and travel hundreds of miles to go there just to get stiffed like that irks me. And just to be no nonchalant about it and stuff. And it's like, that's not even, that's not research. Like, you're wasting hours and hours and hours and hours on purpose doing nothing just so you don't have to go out with people who you invited to come out and offer to go have a Bigfoot experience with. Like, and it's a pretty big channel. Big, friendly, monotone, soft talking, very likable guys, and we like to tell you a good Bigfoot story, and we'll put you in a nice, calm, relaxing mood. Everything's gonna be alright, 'cause this is how we talk, to hook you into good stories. 'Cause I tell you what, I don't believe a damn thing I've heard from those two people. And when I was in the field with the one, it was just like, example, he's bragging about all the stuff he does at home, but when we're, in Florida, he's not doing any of it. Won't do any of it, can't do any of it, isn't doing any of it. And his only bright idea was to, instead of spending all day and all night at the one camp, at our official campsite, he's gonna go make a fake campsite and do the same little bullshit. Which, I thought it was not the right move, because you're not doing anything besides just putting yourself into that area and hoping something is going on without actually doing any research. But luckily enough, they actually had activity of orbs and stuff like that. But um, just did not get the right vibes from that dude, nor that group, nor what do I see from them or hear or how, nothing like that. I think it's fishy. Some of the people on there, some of the stories I've heard, it's very fishy to me. So, and I just can't stand that because you're presenting yourself as something you're not, and you it's just no integrity. So I know we're skipping a lot of this stuff, but it's just some more of this taps noise though. Just different taps. I mean, it's something crawling on it. But it irks me because not only did I experience that firsthand with the guy, but then watching the show, did I hear that from the other guy? And it's just like people don't hear that, it goes right over their heads. But if you guys analyze that, it's like that's not how you should do stuff. If I invited a guest over for Bigfoot expedition and I just kept him at camp on purpose and then went out by myself, I would expect that I should get flack for that. But these guys have a good pass because they have a good, nice sounding, soft, monotone, easy voice. But yeah. Oh, and they'll treat you like you pretty much like it's like your first day at school, and they're like the head principal who knows everything, or teacher that knows everything. Mm, and I didn't want, some of the stuff that, it's like, listen, this isn't like our first day at Bigfoot school where we're doing the very basics out there to get evidence, try to get something. Like, that's not why we're here. That's, if you're trying to teach people the most very basics of stuff on this 168 expedition, I'm not that person that you should be talking to, nor is a bunch of people. But you go find some other people to do that with, and meanwhile, I decided in my group, former members and other people that went out with us, we decided we're not waiting around. We're gonna go out there. If it's hot, it's hot. If there's bugs eating our ass, there's bugs eating our ass. If there's it didn't matter. And so we kept going out and did different stuff and did stuff during the day, did stuff during the night, every single night. There was times where I got back and went right back out with the different people. But so here we have a lot more stuff going on. I think this is I would say bug or a bird or something like that picking up. So it's just, nothing. That's why we're skipping all of it, unfortunately. So, yeah. The 168 was great. Carrie was amazing. Um, but Carrie at the same time, he wasn't where he was at on like his last outing and expedition they did to Arkansas. And that on his last few live streams while out in the field, he's literally by himself. Like Mark's is off somewhere else. He's by himself, and he's able to do that relatively calm and stuff. He has everyone else to talk to on the live stream, but like that compared to how he was in 168 in Florida, like he would never be able to be by himself in the Florida woods like he is in the Arkansas woods, because of where he was at in the stage of his life, on his journey of Bigfoot. He just was not ready to be out there by himself, and he was intimidated to go out there in a big group. But you know what? I mean, he even told us, man, like but he did suck it up because everyone else was there too. But like, he had PTSD about of his encounter and stuff, and you could clearly see it. And so and there was a lot of fiasco going on and logistics and some stuff that he was dealing with and had to deal with and be a part of and stuff. But there was a lot of just people always constantly getting and asking him to do, asking him little stuff that they should figure out by themselves, or just, you didn't have to go to Carrie to ask you. Then go ask someone else this. It's pretty simple. Someone else could have figured it out together. So here we have something else. Could be birds. So as the more birds are picking up and stuff, it's going to be a clear sign of morning is coming around. And that's what I'm guessing that this is going to be, is another bird, just like this. And so, we'll zoom in on these to show you guys these beautiful bird noises that they're making, and actually what it actually is looking like. So you can see how it's different than the human calls we did earlier. It's different than I guess the only calls we heard were the owl calls, which we didn't zoom in on a lot. I mean, isn't that unique? How they're making that sounds, and it goes down and it shoots up, and it kind of carries over a little bit, and then down, lower tone, and then higher tone goes down, and this one shoots up. You guys, I mean, it's very unique, down, shoots up, got this like shoots up, goes down real fast, very interesting. And you have this other one in the background, shoo, shoo. I think it's very interesting stuff. And so this is kind of cool, and this is the kind of stuff that's actually interesting to me, is seeing the different unique patterns that each unique call makes. Each different call that a bird makes these unique patterns. So it's very interesting, and so that's why we kind of want to. And there are a bunch of databases, but I want to do my own database of unique Bigfoot or suspected calls and unique animal calls at night that might get confused and stuff. So we'll zoom back out. And so, yeah, big definitely looks different, right? So and so now it's the boring part, because these birds are just gonna non-stop go flood the entire thing. And so we'll probably skip this entire portion of the birds, because I mean it's just non-stop drowning, and takes about, like, say there's some stuff right here, but this is most likely birds. And the good thing about birds is they are usually keep going, continuing the pattern. They're not just one-off calls. For Sasquatch and Bigfoots, we're looking for one-off howls, one-off calls, whoops, something like that. Birds typically, once they start making calls, they keep making calls for a little bit, and then they'll stop. So here we have some fluctuations, some different stuff going on. Got two different birds going. And I'm gonna zoom in on this one because it's gonna be kind of cool to look at. That's why I said, you know, you can get caught up and bogged down looking at this audio. So it's beautiful, sounds beautiful, and you know, and I guess you know, if anyone wanted a couple hours worth of bird audio, we have a crap load of them. Okay, so what are we at? What are we at the stream? So we're 2 hours and 8 minutes in. Seems a lot later. And we're almost 6 hours into this audio. Just, you know. So we're going to skip all this, though, because it's just a lot of the same. Now, yes, we could be missing some stuff. We're going to jump. We're going to go back because that looked pretty good. More birds and everything like that. Okay. So we're going to zoom out. And then we'll skip the bird section a lot faster by going every 30 seconds. Like the birds stopped. Here's one. More tabs, bigger tabs. So, you know, right off the bat, nothing happened in the key time frame where Sasquatch is most active, which is from 10 a.m. to 2, from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the most prime. It picks up all the way and then drops off after that. So from actual, like, you know, 10 a.m. to 4 or 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. is where most of the activity happens, but the intensity of it is from like midnight to 2, with 2 a.m. being the height of the most activity. So, since we know that the birds are out calling, that it is past 4 a.m., and that the chances of getting Sasquatch activity on the recorder is dropping, and it has dropped significantly. And I know some researchers who don't even bother looking at daytime audio or especially morning audio with birds and everything else because this is what you get into. It's just like every little thing. So here we have a woodpecker. We're going to zoom in on this so you guys can see um, what it looks like. Bunch of taps, very fast. So let's count. Let's see how many taps he's doing in about a second. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. About 22. I might have missed one. I might have skipped one. About 22 taps in a second. That's pretty fast. 22 taps in a second, man. That's pretty crazy. It's one of those things never get like brain damage. Not only are they just like whiplashing their brains so fast, but they're impacting. But I know they're reinforced stuff pretty good. Here we have a bunch of wind. I believe this is going to be wind. A plane. And that's what all this extra is. Just the sound levels. This is another plane, the same plane. Right over top the recorder. Well, we can, this is just all birds and stuff, I'm gonna guess. This does kind of look interesting. Okay. So it is good to learn all these bird sounds and different stuff so you can recognize it and not be tricked out there. There's you know, the other way to actually get experienced is to just go out there and set the recorder out and go on here and start doing this. Get experience, start going out there, listening to sounds. Thought I heard some stuff out there, but she's out there, so I should be alright. I'm always on guard ever since that random freaking guy just walked into the house. after I just left it, I've told this story before, but like let the dog out at the back door, let her in. I didn't lock the door. I hear someone at the front, and I open the back door and I look, and here's this guy. I was like, oh, this is one of the maintenance guys. Okay, so I shut that door, go to the front, didn't lock the door. I open the front door, he's gone. I'm like, oh, what? And I look in the back, towards the back. He's going in the back door, and it's like, what the frick? Turns out he was not a maintenance guy. He was a guy who was very mistaken to think that it was his relative's house. That it was clearly not. He refused to leave, so he learned the hard way that he should have just listened. I didn't take it too hard. I wasn't too hard on him or nothing like that. I just, I just got him out of the house as a nicely, the easiest manner, nicely I could have done. I didn't want to make a mess. Didn't want to hurt the guy. And plus, he wasn't even all there and stuff. So like, there's a nice little tap in there. There's some taps right here though. That's funny. There's one right there, maybe. I'm gonna zoom in on this because this tap kind of sounds different. See how that sounds? I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know if you guys can hear it as good as I am able to hear that, but that noise is definitely different than all the taps we've heard. It sounds different than the louder taps we've heard that I split off, sectioned off like this. This sounds more. This sounds like rock to rock, in my opinion. Yeah, to me that sounds. It's very faint, but it sounds like it's a rock, a hard surface onto a hard surface, but it sounds like a rock onto a rock surface, like that kind of a tapping kind of noise. It's not like it is to me. I could be completely wrong. It doesn't sound like it's wood on wood. It doesn't sound like it's soft material on soft material. It doesn't sound like the tapping that we've heard either. Now, that's not significant for anything, and even if I did suspect it was, that's Bigfoot, there would have to be a lot more uh, evidence, circumstantial evidence that could be added up into actual evidence or actual belief that it was a Bigfoot or something. Just because it sounds like two rocks smacking together. It's not right up next to audio recorder. If it was really up next to audio recorder and it sounded like two rocks getting smacked, I'd be more inclined to say, maybe that's what we're looking for as possible evidence of Bigfoot. It's interesting, but that's all it's gonna be. Just something interesting. Wait. Let's make sure that that rock sound. Make sure that that rock noise that I didn't hear is that bird, because the way it chirps and stuff. Okay, no, that's definitely rock on rock. But this bird, the way it chirps and stuff, um, it's very quick and stuff, and so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't that sound I'm hearing being muffled by the noise of the birds and stuff like that. But it's clearly not the same sound. Here we have whatever this bug. It's buzzing. Bug buzzing right there. That's pretty cool. Considering too far. Because considering we can't even see it when we're actually right here analyzing bigger stuff. So that was interesting though. That it sounds like rock clacking. I'm only saying it because that's what it sounds like. Doesn't mean that's what it actually is. But that sound is interesting. So again, I'm just skipping to just, maybe there's some loud noises. We'll get lucky and stuff, but as you can see, most of the stuff is going to be quiet. We have to zoom in. We have to actually go through and spend twice as long on this than what we are doing on here. But because it's a live show and everything else, we're kind of speeding the process up and try to catch the major stuff. We caught some nothing really. We caught nothing really. But so just some sounds that I'm gonna check out a little bit more. But that's just how it is. This is unchecked audio. I don't know what's on here, and this is 99% of Bigfooting. It's you get nothing. You spend all the time out there. You go through all this 20 hours worth of audio, and you get a bag of nothing. So, but you can't get frustrated. You don't let you just got to keep going on. Try to learn, make it a learning experience. Turn it into now you have unique bird sounds that you know what they look like how they sound. We have some unique sounds that we want to maybe hold on to for future reference. The plane's right there, but anyways, so try to always make it something useful to you or beneficial or a learning experience that you can use to benefit yourself. You should never use it as, oh man, I got like 20 hours of audio I gotta go through, and like the last three that I've checked is a complete nothingness, nothing bag. So like, I really don't want to look at this one. Like, don't get in that mindset. Like, it shouldn't be a hassle. This should be fun. This should be like opening Christmas presents. You don't know what you're gonna get. You might get some socks, so you might get disappointed, but you might walk away with something really awesome though if you keep trying, keep hoping and stuff. So. Just gonna, we're gonna skip a little bit because it's gonna be during the day. So what we're gonna do is, um, we're gonna try to skip it till nighttime. Actually, I guess because the increased chances of Bigfoot activity is gonna be at nighttime. So if we have, I don't think we'll be able to get it to full nighttime, but let's just skip it all the way over here. So if we had the audio recorder out, say at like 2 a.m., 12 hours would be 2 p.m. plus 5 more hours be 7. So 17 hours would be 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So the audio recorder would shut off around 10 p.m. So that means we actually won't have all night. So let's just we'll keep going. Yeah, so it wouldn't even have got dark, really. To right about here. So we'll skip on ahead. We're 1836. Here's something. This right here. This is kind of different. Where's that owl? Buzzing. Nice. Ooh. Got something interesting that was right there. Guess we skipped to a pretty good spot. So let's zoom in on a bit. There's the owl. But yeah, something brushes up or moves or something. So let's stay around here, see if we can figure whatever is where it is. Here's the owl. Here's another faint call right there. Can't hear it. That does sound a lot more with a lot more thud than the regular taps that we've been hearing. That is definitely not the regular taps that we've heard. Um, wow, glad we jumped here. So I don't know if you guys can hear that as good, but we're going to enhance this real quick because, let's see, what do I want to do? Well, amplify. We'll go 3.5. And then we are going to going to go over here to high pass, which does the opposite of what you would think it would do. High pass, you would think it was higher hertz, but it's not. Let's go to 3250, I guess. Okay. We're gonna do the opposite. That, man, that definitely sounds different. That's three different, boom, boom, boom. I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting, but, we don't know what made it. It doesn't, but, that does, let's hear what this is, sounds like. Okay, well, obviously, clearly something is there making that. It's bigger than a bug. That is an animal or something. Gotta stretch out a little bit. Here, maybe we have an audio call right there. There's the owl. There's definitely movement of some sort right there. Something's going on. So let's these aren't vocals. They're not gonna. But you can see how that sounds different than what we've heard. That sounds more heavy, like an animal, what we would expect. Might be something right here. Let's zoom in on this and see what this looks like. Okay, so that's what happens when you zoom in too much. It comes this. Okay, so this is what we're hearing right here. There's no real pattern to it or anything. It's just it sounds weird. Like, I don't know if that's audio or if that's like, it doesn't sound like brushing of the ground, like movement, like what I thought we've been hearing. That sounds like some type of audio, but I'm not quite sure exactly what. There's the owl right there. You guys probably can't see it because I'm not zoomed in. There's the owl right there. It's this line right there, right above my cursor. Line right there. Hmm. There's that barred owl. Most likely it's the same one as the night before. Well, there's something going on right here. A little faint thing right there, then the owl calls right there. Zoom in on this. It's another other weird sound. It could be a bug. I did that too much. It's getting too late. I'm getting kind of tired. I'm not sure. Alright, so instead of doing that, I should apply some filters up to the bottom. Yeah, this is something there for sure, and it's definitely interesting. More so than the sounds we've got through the entire recording when it comes to just tapping or odd noises by there, but it's in the background, so it's not. It's hard to bring out. It's hard to. It's gonna be hard to use. Alright, whatever. We're gonna keep moving on. And I'll probably be shutting the stream down here. So I'm getting tired, and I think that my son is up out there with. So. But she has him handled. But if he's up, then he should be going to bed and stuff. He'll get too cranky and stuff. Staying up late, he'll get cranky in the morning. You know, they say, you know, terrible twos, but I think that carries over. I think that carries over, so. What are we at? 2 hours and 45 minutes, man. That is a lot, and we're you know, he's jumped over huge portions. We should go back and look at least when the birds stop chirping. It kind of gets to like midday, kind of that night. But I'm getting kind of tired. My hands are getting a little stiff doing this, but we'll keep on for a couple minutes more, if it will let me. Oh, here's something. This might be a plane or something. This is almost a full minute, so it's a plane. Yeah, it's always suspect when the call is like a minute long, 2 minutes long. It's like, yeah, that'd be an amazing catch though. Have a 2 minute long howl. Dang. You got 2 owls right there. Alright, so we'll just keep going. Here's a little something that's might be the owl. Yep. Just the owls again? What's this? Playing in the background. So it's already been a couple minutes. We still don't have and since we know that the taps happened both day and night, that is most likely bugs. I would be guessing, or it's maybe it's the palm frond just flexing and stuff every once in a while. But here's something. Plain. I thought this was right. I thought this stuff right here was something, but. Alright, so that is actually an animal messing with the recorder right there. You see how that sounds, that ruffling, or it's the palm frond. So rep, it's right here. It's probably a mouse or something because you can hear it, a little bit of it right there. I'm trying to see if it walks up to the recorder, scurries up to the recorder, anything like that to tell if it's a big animal, small animal. Of course, the plane's right there, interfering with everything. But you can tell that it's right on the recorder, messing with the recorder, right here. What time was that? Almost 20 hours, 24 hours. So nothing loud that we can see, but it might be some smaller, subtle stuff that I'm skipping over, which would indicate that it's a smaller creature, in my opinion. By the sound of it, I think it's just a mouse because I have other audio recordings, or it could be a bird. I've birds flying down and messing with their audio recorder. I have a mouse, several different mice, or some small game animal. Yeah, there's maybe a bird or a small mouse right there. Barely hear the movement, or maybe some type of barely fluttering of the of feathers. So it's gonna the audio recorder's gonna stop here. But then we were at 18 hours and 36 minutes before we skipped forward this way, so we could start there and head back the opposite way. Owls right here. Owls. And it's gonna be an end of that audio. So most likely then there's most likely nothing going on. Of course we still have a couple hours and hours to go through. Um, Unfortunately though, so from 1836, and we did what, 6 hours? About at 6 hours. Yeah, so about 12 hours worth of audio still have to scrub through fast and then fine tooth combed. But going through this and looking at the screen and trying to do this, man, it definitely makes me more tired than being on here with you guys. Oh jeez. What time is it right now? Okay, thank goodness. Well, no, we will not do that. Sorry for that troll in the chat. Good thing I just looked, so he wasn't in there that long. Got those Russian bots or Chinese bots or whatever they are, hackers. But anyways, I'm getting kind of tired, so I'm gonna stop analyzing that for a little bit, and probably call it. I'm gonna call it a show. So as you can see, there's a demonstration of kind of what we get into and what we do. Like I said, we got about 12 hours more worth of audio to scrub through on that clip. So one little piece down. So sorry. I'm just getting all tired all of a sudden. And yeah, so I'm just glad I was able to do this. Hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully you guys can hear some of the audio. Most of the stuff was soft and boring. Let's just say it was boring and stuff, but it was some stuff that I have to go through, and it's easier to do it on here with you guys than waste time. It's not wasting time doing the live show, but you know what I mean. I could save time by doing the audio on here. The next show we can maybe do the same thing, or I'll just go look through the audio and just present whatever's on there to you guys. Excuse me. Never been this tired on the show, and it's not even like 4 hours yet. Yeah. So this will be something we'll probably do every once in a while, especially for like unchecked stuff. We got a couple unchecked stuff, but yeah, so hopefully more stuff will come out and can present to you guys. Hopefully more 168 stuff will come out from other people that we can see and analyze and check out. We're doing more audio work ourselves. We're gonna have a plan to put more. Winter's coming and stuff now, so like it's a little bit harder to kind of do audio. Like you don't want your equipment to freeze up and be destroyed. But we do have a new area of where we can set out audio equipment and audio. So it's going to be very interesting because I don't want to give out too many details about it. But basically, it's private property that there's no hunting. No one hunts on there. No one goes really in the backyard and stuff like that. So perfect prime spot for audio recorder, long duration audio recorder to be set up. Which is unfortunately for that, I don't think that until after winter that's probably going to be the best in that particular setup. But we'll see. Yeah, so if you guys have audio, you guys want to send it our way, and or just clips. You don't have to send us a whole thing. You should be doing the work. But if you guys want some help and stuff like that, you send it our way. I can look at it. We got other members who can look at it. Audio clips of sounds or calls and stuff that you are not sure about and you just want to like compare and spread and get opinions on. Send them our way. We'll be honest about it, and like if I think it's nothing, I'm gonna probably say I think it's this. It could be this, that. If I think it's a real deal or something interesting, I'll say it. So don't think just because someone disagrees about what they're hearing and stuff. Don't think that's like an attack on you. I mean, even I get like that. Sometimes, I get more personalized about the evidence that maybe, I need to not be so attached to because if it's going to be good evidence, they'll be able to pass through any kind of filter you run through it, right? And it will stand on the other side shining. But at the same time, I get defensive about stuff that it's like, stupid stuff. Like it's I don't know. It's hard to explain, but like stuff that I have experienced. Stuff like when you're out there and you're actually having encounters and you're experiencing stuff, and you try your best to document that. Like, and it's whatever kind of quality. Good, bad, practically nothing to like holy crap, damn. You get more attached to that kind of stuff because like you are experiencing stuff in real hand. Like, there's more going on than just what a picture captures or audio captures. Like, you're not there in the moment, like the person experiencing that was. So that's where it can get a little. That's where I can be like I'm not, it wasn't a black bear. Like I've had this one particular group and person likes to say everything's a black bear. Everything could be a black bear, blah 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 blah. It's like if a black bear is that close to you, that's very dangerous, dude. And they should be making all sorts of warning sounds and huffing and puffing, teeth chattering, pawing at the ground. I mean, a bunch of stuff. And so it just becomes the like the bear example. Oh, that's just a bear or whatever. It becomes an excuse. It's not actually investigating or analyzing anything. It's just a easy, simple excuse that you can slap on something without actually doing the work to see what it is. To prove it wrong, to prove it right. You're not even. It's just a bear. Oh, it was just a squirrel throwing nuts at you. Oh, it's just an owl. It's like, well, if you really don't even know, why are you guessing owl? Or like, I don't know what state you're in. I have no idea what kind of birds are there. So I can't really determine what's there, what it actually is. But I'm gonna say owl, just because it's probably what it is. It's like, what are you talking about, man? You just said you don't know what all the animals and birds are in the state.
so you can't even determine what it is based upon stuff you don't even know about, and then it just gets diluted, you know. And everyone has their opinion. I have my opinion about my stuff. It could be completely wrong because I'm not an expert on this stuff. You know, I'm not a bird expert on bird vocalizations and you know, mating calls and you know, injured bird calls or for help and stuff. I mean, there's some unique calls that animals make when they're only playing or when they're only engaged in calling a mate, or they're only engaged, or they're only hurt. You know, animals only make that sound when they're hurt. There's certain sounds and stuff that I certainly would never know and have not experienced yet because um, I, I've not learned that stuff in books and I've not experienced that stuff or those sounds out in the woods. So I'm not an expert. Most of the stuff is based upon it, and I'm going off of my experience off in the woods of what I'm hearing, what I know, what I've seen, what I've learned. I am no expert by any means. I mean, I'm just someone who likes the subjects and is trying to do work and trying to do as professionally as I can. Now, is that 100% professional scientifically and all that? No. I think that if I strive to be more professional, then it's going to keep being that way. And if I, try to be 1% better every single day, by the end of the year, I'll be 365% better than what I was. So it's only about improving and stuff. And knowing that you can be wrong sometimes, and it's okay. So that's what I'm basing everything off of, is my experiences out there, because that's where I think what it all matters, is going out there and getting the evidence, firsthand experience that you can collaborate with. Like, we were hearing these noises, we were having stuff thrown at us, we were hearing stuff following us. You can add stuff together and determine if it was more of a Sasquatch activity, or if it was like a raccoon following you through the woods that you just had no clue about because Sasquatch is on your mind. Like, analyze and determine what is actually going on and not hoax yourself or have a delusion that you think, oh yeah, there's Sasquatch going on, but in reality, it was just an animal making noises or moving in the brush, and then alongside with something happened to fall out of a tree. It wasn't actually a, a rock being thrown and stuff like. And going out with people, people, you know, they have their own perspective on things. They hear stuff, maybe they're at a different angle than you. They're behind some brush and some trees. That sound's going to sound a little different to them. It sound more squatchy to them than it did to you or the recorder. Plus, other people's personal experiences and stuff, they're going to have totally different perspectives and outcomes of what information they're taking in that situation, Like, what I would consider aggressive and stuff and what's non-aggressive to me, other people could straight up say, oh, that's aggressive, that's dangerous, I want to be there, when like Bigfoot starts throwing stuff toward you, people would say that's aggressiveness, but unless it's just like lands right next to you or hits you, I don't consider that aggressive behavior. I think they're just trying to get you out, or testing to see what you do. Um, you know, um, Different calls and stuff. Maybe even getting growled at, or like, something that you would be intimidated and scared. You might think, oh, well, that sounds like it's mean or sounds like an aggressiveness. Might not. I would consider aggressiveness. I just think it's testing you to see if what you're doing and stuff. If it's going to be aggressive, I think you will definitely know because the whole point of showing aggression or showing aggressiveness is a warning to back off. Hey, get away from me. I'm aggressive. If you come closer, something's gonna happen. That's what I kind of, you know, take from that. Like a bear and stuff. A bear will let you know by aggressively doing actions such as smacking the dirt on the ground, teeth chattering, huffing and puffing, growling at you, bluff charging, and stuff like that. Aggressive actions to warn you and stuff. So, um, so when you're out there with other people, it's gonna be, how you handle a situation. It's going to be completely different than how another person's going to handle a situation. While you're going to be calm, cool, and collective, that other person's trying their best not to pee themselves. When you want to go off trailing in the dark and go chasing after the sound, your buddies and stuff don't want to go do it, and are telling you, please, please don't do it. So everyone has experiences and different. It's all going to be different for everyone and stuff. So that's why I think when you're with people and stuff and you have experiences of going out multiple times with people and you guys can get used to and kind of build each other up, and not how you should operate, how you should be more calm, cool, and collective, be alert, not so Sasquatch on the brain and stuff. Once you kind of like work the details in and stuff, and you can trust the people, and they're on cue, and they know when to be quiet, and they understand what sounds like a Sasquatch, what doesn't sound like a Sasquatch, then you can work better as a team and dial it in and have a viable witness with you to experience the stuff with you safely and stuff, and not just have someone there who's who's a great person to have and is a great battle buddy, but is doing little things like being scared. Like, oh my god, what was that? What's that? It's like, shush, be quiet. We're trying to capture this on audio. Like, yes, there's something walking by us. Yes, you can hear stuff, and I get that way too. You get excited, you hear that, blah blah blah. But like, you gotta remember, we're trying to capture evidence, so we have to be quiet to get audio evidence. We have to make sure that we're able to hear stuff and point our cameras and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to do with groups. It's easier to be by yourself and to control how you are and do what you want to do. But it is dangerous and stuff. It's dangerous to go after these creatures. Yeah, so always be on guard, always be careful. Don't act like prey out there. Yeah, be smart and stuff. If your gut is telling you to not stay around and get out of there, then listen to your gut and stuff. Yeah, if just listen to your gut, your instincts and stuff. You're not getting scared by having the bush willies, but your instincts. Your gut feeling of something's telling me that I shouldn't go that way, instead of being scared for no reason, so that's something you have to feel yourself out and experience with, and the best way to do that is to be alone, is to experience stuff and to do stuff alone, by yourself, and that's scary, that's hard to do for a lot of people. They don't want to do that. It's easier to be around people and to be going with the flow and to never stop and analyze yourself and really and break yourself down to the very core and figure out who you are and what you're capable of, what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate, what's your limits on things, what can you push past those limits and stuff. So when it comes to Bigfooting and stuff, if you get into it and you go in long enough and you go by yourself, you'll you'll get stripped down to the very foundation of your core if you're that scared. There's actually something going on, and you realize there's these 1,000-pound man out there, these Sasquatches, these people out there who could make you go disappear, could do whatever they want to you. And you're out there, you're by yourself, and it's pitch black, and it's like, it's very raw feelings and stuff that you have to be able to control, and you can't control that and do that from behind a computer. You can't do that by reading a book. You can only do that by putting yourself in that situation, experiencing that, and forcing yourself to overcome it and change, to adopt, to be in control, to be able to operate in that situation and not be frozen. So that only comes with experience, and from what I see and what I have experienced firsthand is there's people who claim to talk about having experiences and stuff, but in the field and when we actually get experiences, it shows different. And then there's people who I can tell that they know what they're talking about. They've actually experienced stuff, and that not only that, but they've pushed on beyond that. And now they're forcing themselves to go back out there, to stay out there, and those are real researchers. And that's what Carrie Arnold was doing at the very end, as one of the last live streams when they were out in the field. He's by himself, and there's stuff going on, and he knows it, and he still chooses to be out there by himself. He definitely has overcame his fear tenfold compared to where he was when he first came on the scene, when I first met him, when I think a lot of first people met him, and so that he only did that by experiencing it, by working at it, by having passion, and continue to go out there even though he was scared shitless. And that is what real work and what real researchers would do. So I know Kerry never considered himself a researcher, but he did more than a lot of researchers did, and he overcame and started pushing himself more than a lot of researchers did. So I tip my hat to him, and it sucks that he's not here, because he was a force to be reckoned with in this Bigfoot world community as a researcher, as what he was able to bring together, to bring multiple people together, organize big things, and collectively get you guys and the community behind it and support it, and be able to organize this force and mold it into something that was pliable. And so the 168 was of that, and you can see the evolution after that of his growth, and him and Mark going out and then going solo by himself, and it was just going to go more up and up and up. If we're going to do the 168 number 2 at Florida, and it was just going to go more and more and more. I could see it. Everyone could see it. So hopefully the videos and evidence that is out there, that people have, will come to light and will be shown and seen, and we can celebrate those experiences together the right way, and in memory of Carrie and stuff, because none of this experience down in Florida would have happened without him. I don't think that I would be the same researcher I am today without Carrie, without that opportunity to go down there and experience everything that happened, and changed me the way I did, and in my perspective on things, and how to pursue these creatures a little bit more, kicking myself in the butt for not going after them harder in Florida, and now coming back to Michigan, going after them harder, getting experiences because of that. I mean, it's all like a domino effect. If you take one little piece out, your life would be almost completely different. So I know everyone's glad for the opportunity they had with Carrie and down in Florida. So anyways, guys, I'm done. So I'll have more 168 stuff, audio. I'll go through that the rest of those 12 hours and go through it more. Got another 16 hours to go through, plus I would say another 16 hours with audio and well, more than that. Anyways, there's a crap ton. So I'm gonna look through all of it and present it to you guys and yeah. Then yeah. Anyways, yeah, Florida was good. Florida was interesting, and the only thing that I wish that Carrie went out with us. We almost got him. We almost made him go with the Lost Cryptids. We were gonna go off trail and stuff, but he got talked out of it a little bit and stuff, and he was nervous about going out there and stuff because I think he knew like we were gonna go off trail, but um, I knew the next time that we were going on the 168, man, he would probably lead the way off trail at that point because he completely 180 change of 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 him being able to be out there by himself and be out there in the woods. So I'm just so glad that I was able to see that and tell him about it too. Yeah, he was a great guy. He surprised me. He told me one story, and it was just surprised me. And he was a good guy. And he did good. He did good by me. So yeah, he did good by me. Yeah, there's yeah. Kerry was good with dealing with drama. A lot of people's bullshit drama when they came to him. He was definitely good, especially yeah. Anyways, everyone have a good night. We'll see you guys next week and stuff. Oh, I forgot I should have said this earlier, but we might have a change of schedule in the show. I'm gonna have different hours now, so might be might not have a late show now. Might have to start earlier. I know some people are gonna like that, but might be starting at around 9 o'clock, 9 till 11:30. So that might be the new time frame with different work schedule and stuff now. So um, yeah, it's most likely that, or we're gonna move it till Monday night at 11, because that will be my new day off. Um, so I don't know. We're gonna see how it works. It really depends on how crazy as it is here at 9 o'clock. If I'm able to like get everything settled down and do the show, or we just might move it to Monday and have a full show and be able to go 4 hours. No problem there, because no matter what, I won't be able to go do very long shows. Which when we do the 4 hour show, I mean, we used to do two 2 hour shows a week. Now, sometimes we do one 3-hour, one 4-hour show, so it's kind of like 2 shows a week still. So it's just easier to do one big show one night than to try to do setup and do 2 multiple shows, especially when we were doing that particular time slot. So. If you guys want to donate, find a way to donate. We don't really care about the money. That's why I'm not gonna. I've put in the chat anywhere. I mean, it's not what we're about. That's not a priority. I'm not gonna spew that every single time, or put a link in, or spam you with the links here. This is where you can go. Please give me money. It's like. Alright guys, you have a good night.